What's the funniest name for a pet you've encountered? One that still makes me laugh is my dad's old coworker had a cat named Frank. Imagine a grumpy-looking gray cat, and that's what Frank looked like. My old neighbors had a rabbit named Hop-Tart. Yes, I agree, human names crack me up too. A cat just called Kevin. Hilarious. I read about a cat named Yardstick. He had 3 feet. A rabbit named Jamarcus. I saw it in a tweet and it's still chuckle thinking about it. A dog named Jabarcus. A Shar-Pei named Rumpled Silkskin. A fat corgi named Ham. My sister's corgi is named Tubesock. I rescued an abandoned Jack Dempsey cichlid left in a bucket on the street. He was a mean motherfucker, named him Sid Fishous. That has got to be the strangest animal rescue story I have ever heard. Awesome name though. We had a pet snake named Fluffy. Fork. A cat they found under a dumpster with a fast food fork in its mouth. My dog growing up was named Spoon. We got the idea from that internet video Salad Fingers. We ended up naming our bearded dragon Fork afterwards too. Was in the vet office. Guy came in, said Uncle Bear was here for his dental cleaning. Giant wolfhound. Super cool and laid back. Somehow the name fit him perfectly. Spelled Fido. Pronounced Fido. It's a tragedy in dog form. Barkamedes. My favorite is forever my friend's bearded dragon named Elizardbith. BIL and SIL had a rabbit named Stu. Rabbit Stew. Blind doggo named Squintin. Ask him. What's your dog's name? Ask him. And they would. I saw a French bulldog on a beach who was excitedly pushing rocks across the sand back and forth. His name was Dung Beetle. A pug who walked around wearing a waistcoat, yes true, called Mr. Jones. The dog not the waistcoat. Also a dog called Harley. The humans with whom he lived were named Davidson. A former neighbor of mine had a pig named Kevin. Chickens. Marsala, Piccata, Cacciatore, Parmesan, and McNugget. Had a chicken named Soup. Also had a Muscovy duck named Dumpling, and an Indian runner duck named Daryl. Daryl was the most neurotic creature on the planet. Bagel for a beagle. Careful, bagel bites. My sister's friend named her pet snake Lieutenant Dan, because he ain't got no legs. I have a coworker whose mom has 6 chihuahuas all named after chips. Frito, Cheeto, Dorito, and I forgot the rest. Mama brought home 3 kittens once and named them Potato, Chip, and Dip. Dip was so small, even fully grown, she could slide under the door. We now have a cat named Tater Tot, who is a fat lil tater. A regular-ass tabby cat named Parking Lot. When I was a kid 50 years ago, there was a big St. Bernard down the street named Bob. When I met my ex-husband, he had a little 5.2-pound Shih Tzu named Walter, and I thought it was the best and funniest thing I had ever encountered. I always thought the name of Data's cat in Star Trek Next Generation was funny, Spot. Spot was an orange-striped tabby. My friend's son named their gray tabby kitten Ginger. Chonky Bonkers. Homunculus for a hairless cat. My favorite hairless car name is Nudicrous. When I was about 10 years at a bus stop for school, a friendly stray cat pounced in my feet. It was so sudden I got scared and ran all the way home, and he chased me for my laces. His name was Sneakers from then on out. Loved that silly boy. Probably the lamest story in this thread, but I thought it was a pretty funny/unusual name for a cat. I long for the days where I can get a horse and name it Mayo. My ex had an orange cat named Starburst. The name isn't that funny, but the entire friend group would call him by any other candy name, which annoyed my ex to no end. What really pissed her off is that Starburst figured it out and would respond to anyone using his not name. When we were little, my grandparents had a dog named Dipshit, but all the kids knew him as Dipper. My friend's grandpa had a dog named Fleabag. I named my Flemish giant Attila the Bun. A cat named Costco, beef chili with beans. A horse named Susan from accounting. I think I read somewhere if a tortoise or turtle named Voldemort. Bismarck. This German scientist lived next door to me, and he named his dachshund Bismarck. My friend through middle and high school had 2 cats, Trash Can and Dammit. Joe, if you're on here, hey boo. I adore my best buddy's dog. The pooch's name is none other than Chuck Norris. They call him Chucky, but I always call him by his full name. My kid named our cat Nice Grinch, like the Grinch who stole Christmas, but at the end of the story when he turned nice. Ozzy Pawsborn, Prince of Barkness. A chaos gremlin of a cat named Arson. It was a perfect name for that cat, LOL. In the newspaper I subscribe to, they will have a Pet of the Week featured in their weekend editions. Just a cute little profile of a pet available for adoption. One day, there was a cat named Leetle Lee. Indiana Bones. Sorry, gonna nominate my demon trash cat, Kyle McBitey. He's the Monster Energy drink of cats. A pig named Chris P. Bacon. My brother Bill named his dog Ted. Yes, they had excellent adventures together. I met a corgi named Rigatoni the other day. Niuspi, because my friend's kids couldn't say Snoopy properly and the name stuck. A dog named Oi. In Australia, we use oi like hey. At the park, oi, come here. A crab in an aquarium called Leonardo da Vinci. Chairman Meow for a cat. Some dude on Reddit posted his cat named Metropolis Boomington, which I thought was pretty funny. My dad had a mule named Bartholomew. I have a shepherd mix named Cedric Doggery. My pets' names are Eugene, Walter, Jolene, and Francis. They all look their names, and I can't imagine their names being anything else. Bark Twain for a smart or vocal dog. Prozac for a Bichon Frise. An English bulldoggy named Cornwallis. Limousine for a wiener dog. Absolutely cracked me up. Barrel Original was Barrelato for a very chonky American Staffordshire. Had me giggling for a good minute. I knew a French bulldog that had a birth defect where his spine was about half the normal length. His name was Ed, Special Ed. Chalupa Batman. My friend and his brother got a dog when they were younger after begging their parents for one. Their parents thought it would be a good idea letting the boys name the dog, but my friend and his brother couldn't agree as they both were fixed on a name. Finally, the mom made them decide, and they picked both names for the dog. The dog ended up being called Lamborghini Batman. Professor for a Dachshund. In German, Herr Professor. Mr. Professor doesn't translate well into English, but I laughed out loud when the man shouted, Herr Professor, Herr Professor, and suddenly a tiny dachshund came around the corner. Thanks for watching. People shared gems like Frank the Grumpy Cat and Jamarcus that still crack me up. Drop the funniest pet name you've ever heard in the comments.